Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Welcome to the channel. This chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is on something else. I'm telling multiverse? We have the multiverse in Boruto now? This is insane. So, let's just talk about it. Let's get into the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 13 breakdown. The title of the chapter is Prescience. Pretty sure that's how you say that word. I googled it. Don't worry. It's not pre-science. It's prescience. In that same family of words as like omnipotence, omnipotent, all of that stuff. So let's get right into things with the Boruto cover art. It features the man himself, Boruto, looking like a mini Sasuke with the purple accents on his colors. It's pretty dope. You know, he's got his glove and his sword, very Sasuke-esque. Gotta love it, man. And you know, in this chapter we get to see long hair Boruto again, so mini Sasuke is back. Let's do it. Now, this chapter is probably one of the best chapters in the entirety of 2 Blue Vortex so far, and that's saying a lot because we had Uzuhiko, we had the Flying Raijin debut, we had the Shinju pop up, we've had tons of action, but now we have answers to questions that have been beating away on my mind for months. So this chapter is probably one of the best. It starts off with Jura preparing another Biju bullet to fire at Boruto when the Shinju variation of Bug arrives, popping out of Jura's cloak. Now, the Bug Shinju finally has his name revealed to us, and it's actually Mamushi. Now, as far as I can tell, Mamushi is the name of some type of snake. It's one of the breeds of snakes found in Japan. Perhaps Bug may eventually turn on the others, or perhaps he's been seen as the most aggressive or brutal in combat, since Mamushi is a highly venomous snake that's usually preying on small rats, birds, and even frogs. So maybe, you know, we know he's going after Ada and Damon, but with all this new intel coming out that, you know, Matsuri knows that Boruto's working with someone else to get all this intel, maybe Mamushi will go target Kashin Koji and we'll get a fight there. Now, we learned that the Thorn Soul, the Thorn Soul bulb is capable of rotting away, which causes Jura and Mamushi to retreat so that they can revive Hidari before it deteriorates. Now, this is where we jump in on Boruto. We're seeing his status. Boruto begins to fade in and out of consciousness, leading us to see the flashbacks of how Boruto teams up with Kashin Koji. So this is pretty cool. You know, Boruto's basically on the run. There's Konoha Shinobi looking for him. One of the Kashin Koji's toads find him, and then Boruto gets summoned to Kashin Koji's location. So we learn a few details about Kashin Koji's toad summons and how they actually are artificially created scientific ninja tools. So they are toads, they're real, but they're created from scratch in Amado's lab, and Kashin Koji is basically able to control them via his chakra, which is how he's able to communicate with Boruto. So the toads aren't talking, it's more of a walkie-talkie system where Kashin Koji and Boruto are communicating through the toads. Now, Kashin Koji was able to summon Boruto to one of Orochimaru's hideouts in the Land of Wind. Now, if you don't remember, that's where the hidden sand village is, right? Now, Kashin Koji says that this hideout is abandoned, meaning they're probably not working with Orochimaru directly, if at all, right? Orochimaru might not even be in on this operation. I would imagine he knows people have infiltrated one of his hideouts, but at the same time, he might not care since he's abandoned this location. Now, Boruto discovers that Kashin Koji knows about omnipotence. Although he does say he doesn't know a whole lot, the real reason why Kashin Koji knows about everyone's memories getting flipped is because he was able to see this being a potential future outcome with his new ability, Prescience. Now, Prescience is one of the many overpowered Shinjutsu originally possessed by Shibai Otsutsuki. It turns out that all of Amado's creations were given Shibai cells in the attempt to awaken one of his many Shinjutsu. So Code, Ada, and Damon, they were able to manifest Shinjutsu in the form of claw marks, being able to reflect all attacks, and omnipotence, while Koji, Boro, and Delta were unlucky, and it wasn't until Kashin Koji's near-death experience that actually triggered his Shinjutsu awakening. So this is kind of interesting. We might have a parameter or certain criteria for, say, Delta to eventually awaken her latent Shinjutsu. If she gets in a battle and she actually hits that near-death experience, she might be able to awaken a new Shinjutsu later down the line. Since she's always tagging around Kawaki, and based on these future timelines we learn about, Kawaki basically loses in all of them. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, back on the topic of prescience. So prescience allows Kashin Koji to look into the future, much like Momoshiki's future sight. But unlike Momoshiki, prescience allows Kashin Koji to see all future possibilities, meaning other timelines and parallel realities in which different events could have played out, having extremely different outcomes. Now, due to his foreknowledge, he's able to prepare and make alterations to his and Boruto's choices, the movements that they make, in order to change the future. Kashin Koji's not only seeing the imminent threats, but he's also able to see the jutsu that Boruto was able to use in these future timelines, and he's taught them to Boruto earlier. So his flying Raijin and the Uzuhiko, these were techniques that Boruto would have eventually mastered, but now he knows them in advance so that they can maximize Boruto's overall strength and his training. So one of the big plays that he has with prescience is being able to not only see the threats, but he's able to see stuff you're going to learn down the line and teach it to you in advance. So Boruto is like leagues beyond where he's supposed to be. All because Kashin Koji can see into the future. Now, some of these other timelines look insane. So, in one of them, Naruto is killed by Ishiki during the Baryon mode fight. So when Ishiki was like, Kawaki, if you don't come out here, I will kill the Hokage, and he gave him that countdown, there's a timeline where he killed Naruto. And then in that timeline, Kawaki gets caught by Ishiki. Ishiki makes him his vessel. Ishiki takes over Kawaki, feeds Boruto to the god tree, eats the fruit. That's one of the realities. And then in another reality, Kawaki is able to kill both Boruto and Sarada. So in the fight where Boruto got the scar after Naruto and Hinata were sealed away, there's a reality where Kawaki killed both Boruto and Sarada, but he eventually loses to No Limits Code, and he ends up getting fed to the Ten Tails. There's a bunch of different futures, and in some of these futures, right, in the events possible to come, Jura and the other Shinju increase their numbers, adding a new member to the crew who looks an awful lot like Shinki from the Hidden Sand Village, Gaara's adopted son, who we saw in the Chunin exams. So this is actually crazy, because Kashin Koji's over here like, look, man, that didn't happen, and then the future started looking like this, and then that didn't happen, and now it looks this way. So he's literally altering reality. So it could be what Kashin Koji did, it could just be Boruto's overall nature. That's the reason why Momoshiki's future sight didn't come to fruition. He was like, no, this is not right, this is not how it was supposed to happen. He started throwing a hissy fit. Momoshiki might not have prescience, he might have future sight to be able to see only one possible future, the future where he came out on top. But who knows, maybe Momoshiki does have prescience, and he was also taking the steps in order to get the future that he wanted, which is why he popped up and saved Kawaki when he did, which is why he popped up and saved Boruto when he did. So maybe future sight is prescience, or maybe there's two different versions of future sight. All I know is that Kashin Koji might have the same Shinjutsu as Momoshiki, but like I said, we'll have to wait and see. So basically, Kashin Koji is pulling a Doctor Strange move from Infinity War, looking into all the different variations of the future, trying to see the numerous possible outcomes so that they can navigate the best possible future. Now, in most cases, the future is taken over by the Shinju, and Jura is going to kill Boruto, eventually ending with Kawaki getting fed back to the Ten Tails. So a lot of the future realities that Kashin Koji is looking into, this is the overall outcome. Now Boruto basically suits up, strapping on his headband, declaring that no matter what, he's going to restore the Uzumaki household, and he's going to bring Kawaki back to his senses, and he's going to do it without killing Kawaki. He straight up said, I'll help you and we can do this, kill the Ten Tails, take care of Code, but I'm not killing Kawaki. I don't care what the future holds. I'm bringing that man back and I'm restoring my family. So super badass moment for Boruto right there. Long-haired Boruto ties up the headband, and we basically end the flashback. So Boruto wakes back up and the flashback is over. Himawari wakes up as well, and she uses her Nine Tails power to go and heal Sarada since she was shot in the arm by Jura's Biju bullet. They said that there's no broken bones, but there's a lot of nerve damage. Instantly healed her Nine Tails chakra. Himawari, super broken. We gotta look out for her. Now, before she gets the chance to go heal Boruto, Kawaki has Konohamaru cuff Boruto in these chakra-suppressing handcuffs that are developed by Amado, so that he can't use any jutsu, right? They're like, we're gonna heal him, but we can't just have him teleporting out of here. So they seal his chakra, preventing him from using jutsu. And then Kawaki also discovers Kashin Koji's toad in Boruto's cloak, but he doesn't report this finding to Konohamaru. Like, Konohamaru asks about it and he says it's nothing. So two things here. One, Kawaki's probably going to talk to Amado and be like, I found one of Kashin Koji's toads. What are the chances he's alive? Because he didn't want to bring that up to Konohamaru, and he might not bring it up to Shikamaru, but Amado would know. And then the other thing, Amado has developed chakra-suppressing cuffs that could be used as a future plot device later on. Where like, okay, how do we defeat this enemy? Oh, we got to get those chakra-suppressing cuffs on them so that they can't perform any jutsu. Because that could work, Like if Code shows up, or if Momoshiki's taken over, whatever it might be, they could use these. If they have the chance to lock those cuffs on somebody, they can't use any jutsus, and they would be reliant on solely their physical strength to try to break out of them. So maybe Boruto can just break them out, or break out of them later on, because he's that strong, but without augmenting his chakra in order to enhance his strength, which I would imagine these cuffs would stop him from doing. That would be a feat in and of itself. But Amado's created a device that literally shuts down jutsu. Definitely need to see that used more in the future. Now, the chapter begins to close with the Shinju reviving Hidari, using the black cube and the roots of the Ten Tails, basically restoring his form. Now, after confirming that Hidari's identity is still intact and he's fully recovered, a new Thorn Soul sprouts from the roots of the Ten Tails, and Matsuri and the rest of the Shinju prepare it so that they can add a new member to their group, which is insane. So I want to jump into the highlights of the chapter so we can wrap up the video. For one, there's going to be more Shinju, okay? Because these Thorn Souls are sprouting from the roots of the Ten Tails. It's not like, oh, you get bit and then automatically get transformed into a Shinju. No, these Thorn Souls pop up within the roots, and then they can harvest them and create more Shinju. They literally said, I wonder what your name will be. And it's probably going to be the Shinki variant that we saw in Kashin Koji's, I guess, foreknowledge, the prescience. So his ability to see the future and his ability to see the new Shinju, and now at the end of the chapter, there's a new Thorn Soul, and they're going to create a new Shinju. We might see this pop up more and more, because there's numerous people in trees. And these Clog Rhymes, if Shinki got bit, that means there's Clog Rhymes in the hidden sand village. There's probably Clog Rhymes in the hidden cloud and the hidden stone across the world, eating people and turning them into Shinju, or turning them into Thorn Souls that the Shinju can harvest and then turn into Shinjus. Insane. And obviously, I want to talk about the flashbacks. Boruto's long hair is back. Long hair, don't care. Mini Sasuke is here. This is awesome. And of course, Kashin Koji basically being able to train him with all of the jutsu that he saw Boruto using in parallel realities, meaning like, hey, you're capable of learning this. Let's just get this out of the way now. That's awesome. Now, prescience, future sight, right? The Shinju awakening, the fact that Kashin Koji had a near-death experience and his Shibai cells awoke and then it manifested a new Shinjutsu that he can use. For one, can Kashin Koji just regularly turn this on and look into the future after something happens to be like, all right, we made the right choice, or holy crap, we messed up. We got to recover, because it seems like it. He says he has better understanding and more confidence in the ability. But Delta was also stated to have Shibai cells. Is she going to awaken a Shinjutsu if she gets pushed in a battle far enough to the point where she has a similar awakening or a near-death experience that triggers the cells to manifest her Shinjutsu? We don't know, but the window is open. And of course, there's multiple futures and timelines in Boruto's reality. So I was talking about this when we learned that Momoshiki's vision didn't come into fruition, right? Momoshiki saw the future, and he said, this is not how this is supposed to go. You're supposed to turn your body over to me. I saw omnipotence happen, same way Kashin Koji did. But it didn't play out the way he originally saw. So, is Momoshiki's future sight the same as prescience that Kashin Koji uses, or are they different? Who knows? I would imagine they're different, or maybe, for some reason, Kashin Koji is more skilled in future sight than Momoshiki. But who knows? I'm waiting to see these answers get questioned, or these questions get answered now. Anyway, crazy chapter, a bunch of stuff that we can jump into, new theory material for the channel. Let's go. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this chapter and all of the answers, the flashback, the new abilities. I want to hear everything you guys are thinking in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. And hey, I've been your man, the Grass Ninja. Peace.